Well, Daisy Ridley has a brand new movie for people to complain about. Let's talk about it. Because I'll have you guys believe right now. Once again, it is 22 degrees outside. Let's discuss. Is it good? And the answer to that is, it's complicated. We Buried the Dead is a movie directed by Zach Helditch. I hope I pronounced that right. He's most known for directing 1922 and Rattlesnake for Netflix, and this is his latest feature film. The movie's about Daisy Ridley, who lost her husband due to a freak accident involving military technology that turned brains off like an EMP device. So she wants to go down to the area so she can find her husband, acting as kind of a body detail where they gather up dead bodies so they can tell people that they found them. And she goes along this journey to try to realize, what does life mean? What sort of after effects does death have on people? And so and so. And I didn't know that much about this movie. It's another January release. It was a film that's being dumped to the first weekend of January, so you kind of expect it to be a little bit odd. I knew it was a AMC and Regal mystery movie a couple weeks back. I did not watch it then. I watched it today. And my thoughts on it are, like I said, complicated. It just has major flaws that kept me from really enjoying it that much. So let's start with the positives. The movie is shot beautifully. I really like this area that's set in. It has beautiful landscapes. There's a lot of shots where you just focus on how empty everything looks. The highways, the plains, the ocean. It all looks very nice. I really do think that the actual approach they take to zombies in this film, where they're not necessarily eating people, they're docile to a certain extent, but they're just, broken when they reawaken, as they call it. I think that sort of approach was incredibly interesting, creepy, but sad. And the whole movie takes this whole sort of approach as somber. It's not necessarily going for the same chills and thrills as we would expect for this type of zombie road trip movie. But then we get to my complaints with the movie, and I do like the slow pace to a certain extent. The beginning of the movie was fine, but at a certain point where we actually start to go on this road trip, it starts to get a little bit annoying. Starting with the first detour, which involves this soldier guy who finds them, and it doesn't make any sense. Like the whole scenario of Daisy Ridley, she finds someone that's working with her in body detail to take her along to go find their husband, and kind of like a solo journey. But then they're at a gas station and, oh no, there's a military guy there. And the whole scenario for this, well, having some interesting elements involving the undead, or whatever we really want to classify them in this movie, the whole scenario here is kind of dumb, okay? It's really stupid, and it kind of leads to the whole bit of this movie trying to be more action-packed and scary and suspenseful to be kind of weird and awkward and unnecessary. I kind of just would have preferred we keep with the mellow vibes, but this whole sort of detour in the middle of the movie felt out of place and just kind of led to very dumb decisions made by both the characters involved. At the end of the movie, another character shows up out of nowhere. Despite it not making any logical sense, they don't explain how that character comes back in any capacity. Like, why did that happen? It doesn't make any sense. But I do like Daisy Ridley's journey in this film, and how she kind of goes along and reconciles with her own life and her decisions that led her to this point with her husband. And the revelations at the end of the movie are interesting. I feel like we should have lingered on them a little bit more, but that's fine. The movie is not terrible. I definitely see, even in that subplot, you get elements that do work for me, and they kind of do add into the whole tone about death in general. But a lot of these same similar tones and themes have been done recently in 28 years later. That movie, I think, delves into this whole idea through the super zombie and how he takes care of his mate and then the baby. Because I feel like that, how they explore it in that movie, is more effective than the stuff that happens in this movie. There's one scene in particular where something happens and like it's cool and it's really effective in that moment, but then the rest of the movie is like, okay, so that happened. Is this just something that particular zombie can do? In the end of the day, I left the theater pretty unsatisfied. There's a bunch of people in the theater just making fun of it as it went along. Particularly when that character I've led before just showed up at the end and made no sense and was kind of annoying. And in the end of the day, don't feel like you have to go see this. It's all right for like a introspective zombie sort of movie, but again, like I don't feel like it was narratively cohesive. As I sit with it more, the weaker it gets. Really, it's Daisy Ridley trying to carry this on her back, and I feel like she hasn't been given that nice juicy role yet that will define her as an actress outside of Star Wars, and I hope that she continues to try. But in this movie, she's all right. She's fine. Honestly, considering that like she's supposed to be an American, like why not just make her British? I hope she continues to get work and gets a movie that surprises me better, but man, this wasn't If Chief.
I forgot to make an outro for this video, so stay put and watch more stuff. I'm coming out with new projects, but just stay put. Here's the outro. Da, 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 da.